Tri-County Electric Cooperative's 84th Annual Meeting of the Members. We will start the meeting off with a prayer in honoring our nation. I would like to invite Wesley Sheets, our Chief Operations Officer and Vice President of Operations, to the podium to deliver the invocation. Wes?
Good evening. Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to come together as a co-op family. We had asked that you would give us all guidance. We would want to thank you for your blessings and ask that you watch over our members and our employees throughout the holiday seasons and 2024. We would ask, Lord, that you be with our nation's leaders, and we want to thank you for the many opportunities and blessings of this great nation. Thank you again, Lord, for all that you do and all your blessings. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Wes. Now, I would like to invite Melissa Watts, our Chief Financial Officer and Vice President of Finance, to the podium to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Melissa?
Please join me in the pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. We welcome questions throughout the meeting. We will answer as many questions as we can until the conclusion of our meeting at 8 p.m. If we are unable to get to your questions tonight, we will reach out and to make sure that we will follow up on any of the questions. If you are watching online, please type your name and questions into the box below the streaming player. If you are participating by phone, please press *3 to be connected to a member services representative. Questions will be answered after the cooperative update. We thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. Tri-County Electric Cooperative is a local, not-for-profit, member-owned, and member-governed electric provider. 9 of your fellow members sit on the board, and together they are the governing and regulatory body of your cooperatives. The board is elected by you, the members. I would like to introduce your board of directors. From Keller, District 9, Director and Board Chairman, Max Waddell. From Granbury, District 6, Director and Board Vice Chairman, John Kelo. From Fort Worth, District 2, Director and Board Secretary Treasurer, Margaret Koprek. From Fort Worth, District 1, Director, Kevin Engel. From Aledo, District 3, Director, Jordan Wood. From Garner, District 4, Director, Jerry Walden. From Agnes, District 5, Director, Steve Harris. From Seymour, District 7, Director, Summer Portwood. And from Keller, District 8, Director, Mike Sievertson. I would like to invite Max Waddell, District 9 Director and Board Chairman, to the podium to kick off the business portion of the meeting. Mr. Waddell.
Thank you, Janet. On behalf of the Tri-County Electric Cooperative Board of Directors, I would like to formally welcome you to the virtual annual meeting and officially call the 84th Annual Meeting of the Members to order. You have the unique opportunity to be a member and an owner of this cooperative. Here at Tri-County Electric Cooperative, you are not just another number or customer, you are a valid member. We hope that you truly believe that and value the cooperative difference. We operate under the cooperative business model, meaning we always put you first. That's why the virtual platform offers you the ability to participate in a way that best fits your schedule. We are all busy people, and the opportunity to watch online or listen by phone encourages greater participation among the membership. At this time, I am appointing Don Richards, the cooperative's attorney, as the annual meeting chairman to conduct the business portion of our 84th annual meeting of the members. Your board of directors thanks you for the opportunity to serve you, the co-op's member owners. Mr. Richards.
Thank you, Mr. Waddell. Tri-County Electric Cooperative Incorporated is a Texas corporation. It is a favored entity under Texas law, as are all electric cooperatives, because it is a company that is owned by its customers. That being said, it's still a private company. It is favored because it is a utility that is owned by its customers, and when it makes a profit, the profit is returned eventually to all the customers as they've paid it in. Unlike the other type of bodies that act, the Tri-County is not a governmental body. It's not a school board or a city council or a county commissioner. It's not under those rules, but like other utilities like Encore and AEP, it's a private corporation. Tri-County is a corporation. It's a cooperative corporation. And that's why we operate under our bylaws. We're not a political body. Operate under our bylaws. And like any other corporation, the membership, in this case, the customers or the membership, as the cooperatives call them, you elect representatives to the board of directors to handle the day-to-day business affairs of the cooperative. At this time, I will start with the business session of the cooperative. As a cooperative organization, our bylaws require that we provide notice of this meeting by proof of mailing on record. The governance team works with the board secretary and treasurer to mail meeting notices in a timely manner in accordance with the cooperative's bylaws in Article 3, Section 3.2. My glasses are on that. Notice of this 84th annual meeting of the members was included in the September issue of Texas Co-op Power magazine. The notice stated the meeting would be held virtually on Monday, October 16th at 7 p.m. Texas Electric Cooperatives, the statewide association of electric cooperatives, and Texas Co-op Power Publisher mails the magazine in behalf of this cooperative. The sender's statement of proof of mailing certified that 105,990 notices were mailed on August 31st, 2023. If you would like to review proof of mailing statement, the official copy is located at the cooperative's Aledo office, and you're welcome to be able to review it. Next item of business is to establish that we have a quorum in order to transact business. Survey and Ballot Systems, which is the independent third-party election provider, conducted the election on behalf of the cooperative. Tonight's quorum is determined by the number of members who voted in the election by the election deadline. The election opened at 8 a.m. on September 1st and closed at 5 p.m. on September 27th. Members have had the opportunity to vote either online or by mail. Our cooperative bylaws require a minimum of 3% of the membership must participate in order to conduct business at this meeting. Since we have 105,990 members who received notice, the quorum requirement for this 84th annual meeting of the members is a minimum of 3,179 members. According to Survey and Ballot Systems, 19,064 ballots were cast online, and another 2,917 ballots were submitted by mail. That brings the total participants to 21,981 ballots cast in this election. That is 20.7% of the membership participating. Therefore, I hereby declare that a quorum is established and we're orderly to conduct business. Survey and Ballot Systems has provided a full list of members who voted by the September 27th deadline. All members who participated in this election received a $25 bill credit. They received it on October 4th. They can expect to see it posted on their bills for either October or November billing statements, depending on the cycle that you're on with the cooperative's business office. Next, we're going to ask for membership approval for the last year's minutes. Last year's annual meeting minutes for the 83rd annual meeting of members was held on Tuesday, October 4th, 2022. The minutes are located on page AR7 of the September issue of Texas Co-op Power magazine, so that you had prior review. If you are streaming online, we ask that you please click approve to approve the minutes, If you're listening by phone, please press 1 to approve the minutes. We'll pause for a moment till I'm notified that enough sufficient people have voted. We have our staff watching the results now. Make sure that we have people voting to approve last year's minutes. Okay, I've been indicated that our staff has watched the results, indicates we have had a sufficient response. Membership approves the minutes of last year's annual meeting. Thank you for your vote. Next, we will ask for membership approval of the Committee on Nominations and Qualifications. This has to do with the upcoming election of director. According to our cooperative bylaws, each year the board shall nominate and the membership shall confirm co-op members to serve on the committee. The committee is comprised of 1 member from each district, making 9 total, to serve by qualifying candidates for the board election and to set the ballot. This committee interviews the candidates who apply to be on the ballot and approves them. According to section 4.4 of the bylaws, the committee is comprised of members in good standing, those who are not currently a director or an employee, and are not closely related to a director or a director candidate. This year we have 3 nominees to confirm this Committee on Nominations and Qualifications. The nominees were appointed by the Board of Directors at the conclusion of last year's election and need to be confirmed by the membership this evening to serve 3-year terms that would end on December 31st, 2025. The 3 nominees are District 5, Ramey Keith, District 7, Rennell Scott, and District 9, Wayne Parkman. If you are streaming online, please click Confirm to confirm your vote for the committee members. If you are listening by phone, please press 1 to confirm the committee members. I'm indicated we've already got enough approval to confirm, and we thank you for your vote of approving the committee. Next, we'll move to the nominations report itself. We'll proceed to the nomination report. Interested and eligible members have 2 paths, 2 different ways to get on the ballot to be elected to director. They can be nominated by the committee that we've just appointed, or they can be nominated by petition that they've circulated. Candidates seeking nomination by committee needed to submit a complete application by 5 p.m. on Thursday, March the 9th, 2023, to be considered by the Committee on Nominations and Qualifications. I would like to invite the committee chairman in District 3, Representative J. Stephen Bartley, to the podium to provide the report from the Committee on Nominations and Qualifications report. Mr. Bartley.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. Good evening. The Committee on Nominations and Qualifications is responsible for accepting and reviewing applications from members interested in running for the Board of Directors via nomination by committee. This year, we accepted and reviewed 4 applications from members of Districts 1, 2, and 4. The committee deemed all candidates met application requirements, director qualifications outlined in our cooperative bylaws. The Committee on Nominations and Qualifications recommend the following candidates to be placed on the ballot. In District 1, Kevin Engel, incumbent. District 2, Margaret Copric, incumbent. District 4, Jerry Walden, incumbent, and David Miller, Nominations Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bartley. That involves the candidates who were nominated by the nominating committee and placed on ballot. Next, we talk about the candidates who seek nomination by petition. They had to have submitted a complete application packet by 5 p.m. on Thursday, April 13th, to be considered for the ballot. This process bypasses the Committee on Nominations and Qualifications and is reviewed by me, the cooperative attorney. 2 candidates were reviewed and both approved for the ballot. For District 4, Julie Walden is a petitioning candidate. Dan Mickle is a petitioning candidate. Those 2 were added to the ballot for District 4, which makes a total of 4 candidates for District 4. All 6 candidates now that appeared on the ballot was mailed to you in the September issue of Texas Co-op Power Magazine, as well as you see those online when you voted. The election results now. We received from Survey and Ballot Systems, our third-party independent election provider. They gave us the following results as follows. District 1, Kevin Engel ran unopposed and therefore is elected by acclamation. District 2, incumbent Margaret Koprek ran unopposed and therefore is also elected by acclamation. In District 4, we had 4 candidates. Incumbent Jerry Walden received 38.1% of the votes. Nomination candidate David Miller received 29.4% of the votes. Petitioning candidate Julie Walden received 25.2% of the votes. And petitioning candidate Stan Mickle received 7.3% of the votes. Because no candidate received a majority of the votes, there will be a runoff election between the top 2 candidates, which will be called probably about the first part of December. Since incumbent Jerry Walden received 38.1 votes and nomination candidate David Miller received 29.4 votes, they will be placed on the runoff ballot for election in the runoff election. Please watch your November Texas Co-op Power magazine for the runoff election notice and the details. The runoff election ballot will come on your December Texas Co-op Power magazine and will be emailed to members with an active email on file as of December 1st. Next, we have the treasurer's report for the cooperative. This is the business for the end of the year. Each year, the board of directors works with an outside firm to audit the co-op's financial statements, accounting procedures, and internal controls. I would like to invite Margaret Koprek, District 2 Director and Board Secretary Treasurer, to the podium to deliver the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. The Tri-County Electric Cooperative Board of Directors engaged independent auditing firm Briscoe, Burke, and Grisby from Tulsa, Oklahoma to perform the audit. And we are happy to report that we received an unqualified or clean opinion for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2023. Each member received an abbreviated copy of the cooperative's annual report in the September issue of the Texas Co-op Power magazine. The financial statements start on page AR4 and include the statement of income and expenses and balance sheet for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2023. Your cooperative assets total $1,374,872,636, and our balance sheet remains strong even as we continue to invest in our cooperative assets. Total revenue for the cooperative was $444,987,321. Our net operating margins for the fiscal year came to $7,167,835. The Board of Directors keeps a close eye on financials based on reports provided by the leadership team. Operating costs have been trending upward across the industry, including the cost of material and labor used to build infrastructure to provide safe, reliable power to your homes and businesses. This year, the Board of Directors voted to retire $4,997,000 to the members in capital credits. Members who received electric service in 2003 received a bill, credit, or a check last month. This is just another reminder that you are not only a member, but an owner in this cooperative. The cooperative business model is arguably the strongest operating model, since all of cooperative profits, or margins, are allocated and retired to the membership as patronage capital. No dividends or profits are ever paid to Wall Street investors. We don't have any Wall Street investors, only you, our member owners. I encourage you to review these reports located in the September issue of the Texas Co-op Power magazine. A digital copy is located on our website at tcectexas.com. It is my pleasure to serve you as the Secretary Treasurer of the Board of Directors. We are in this together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Koprek. This concludes the business portion of tonight's meeting. The main thing we have left now is the most enjoyable part, and that's the door prizes. We have plenty of door prizes, but before we do that, before we go to the door prizes, I want to remind you that we will end the meeting with a question and answer session, but it will follow the door prizes. If you have submitted a question during the meeting Our staff has those questions ready. We will respond to them. If you have not yet asked your question, there's still time to do it while we're working on the door prizes. If you are watching online, let me remind you, please type your name and question into the box below the streaming player. If you are participating by phone, please press 3 to be connected to a member service representative. Now it's time for our door prizes. We have more than 200 items donated by our vendors and industry partners, those who do business with the cooperative, that without them, we would not be able to take care of you because they provide all the equipment, all the things we have to operate on. All of them have been provided by courtesy of our vendors, other than, of course, the electric credits are provided by the cooperative as well as the grand prize. To be mindful of your time, we're only going to announce a few of the prizes. A full list of the winners can be found on our website at dcectexas.com/annual-meeting. Our member service team will contact all door prize winners by the end of the week to arrange for prize pickups. Now let's go to the door prize.
All right, let's see who our lucky winners are. And just a reminder, the full list of prizes will be on our website tomorrow. So the first prize is a $200 Lowe's gift card donated by McCord Engineering, and the recipient is Theron Britt of Springtown. A $500 Visa gift card donated by Texas Electric Cooperatives goes to Nicole Burnett of Keller. A $500 Visa gift card donated by Texas Electric Cooperatives goes to James Hardwick of Azle. A $100 Cabela's gift card donated by Techline goes to Joyce Mullins of South Lake. A $100 Home Depot gift card donated by Techline goes to Sherry Eason of Fort Worth. A $500 Home Depot gift card donated by Techline goes to Michael Lobig of Weatherford. A metal portable fire pit donated by REI Electric goes to Jack Snodgrass of South Lake. A KitchenAid mixer donated by REI Electric goes to Brenda Lara of Weatherford. A Blackstone griddle donated by REI Electric goes to Charles Miglietti of Keller. A Ninja air fryer donated by REI Electric goes to Sankar Saha of Keller. A leaf blower donated by REI Electric goes to Roman Augustus of Poolview. A Infernal patio heater donated by REI goes to Michael Hagar of Fort Worth. A Cuisinart smokeless griddle donated by Higgs Electric goes to Nichelle Christine Merle of Fort Worth. A DeWalt 20-volt 2-tool combo donated by Higgs Electric goes to Kyle Leonard of Azle. A Shark Liftaway vacuum donated by Higgs Electric goes to Juanita Lemon of Weatherford. A $200 Visa gift card donated by Impact Engineering goes to Florence Carr of Granbury. A $250 Cabela's gift card donated by Hardin Tree Services goes to Michael Manning of Granbury. A $500 in Visa gift cards donated by Turnkey Utilities goes to Richard Van Atta of Fort Worth. A $500 Visa gift card donated by CoBank goes to Orlando Bustos Jr. of Fort Worth. And the final grand prize is free electricity for the remainder of 2023, up to $300 a month, donated by Tri-County Electric Cooperative, and this goes to James Schonfield of Weatherford. Congratulations to all of our prize winners.
Thank you, Janet, and remember to look online for the remainder of those door prizes, and we'll be notifying those people who won. Congratulations to the winners. We'll now open for our question and answer session. You may continue watching or listening at your convenience. As a reminder, we will answer as many questions as we can until we reach the conclusion of our meeting at 8 p.m. If we run out of time, we'll reach out this week to members who ask questions that we were unable to get to answer tonight. If you are watching online, please remember to type your name and question into the box below the streaming player. If you are participating by phone, please press *3 to be connected to a member service representative. Now for the question and answers. If you have them, please send them in. That we have received a few, and let me go over those with you. Raymond online asked the following question. Is it possible for Tri-County to incentivize charging for electric vehicles with off-peak times? Seems like a win-win for the member and the cooperative. Thank you for that question. The staff of the cooperative has been evaluating this situation for a long time. That's a big issue, not only with this cooperative, but every cooperative. They're continuing to evaluate consumer programs, and they're looking into this, and will, I'm sure, come out with a public statement at a point in time when they develop a specific program. Next question is from Roy. It came online. Are there any solar installers that Tri-County recommends? Roy, thank you for the question. We will have our engineering team follow up with you directly on this point. We have a lot. This is a big question we have often, and we'd like to talk one-on-one because every situation is different. It's just like the different solar installers. David asked this question online: Why aren't members getting annual payments? As Mrs. Koprek said in her report, this year the board of directors voted to retire just under $5 million to the members in capital credits. Members who received electric service in 2003 received a bill credit or a check last month. So they did go out last month for last year's. This is based on the cooperative. The cooperative board determines, based on their financial standing they have and the cash they have available. Remember, we had the winter storm in 2021, and that changed the way we had to do it for a while until we could address the situation properly. But you'll see they continue to, this cooperative has an outstanding history of paying capital credits, and so I think you'll see it continue. But she said $5 million just went out. It's just been approved to go out to members. We've had a number of members ask this questions. Do the board members get paid to serve? Short answer is yes, but they're not salaried employees of the cooperative. According to our bylaws, board members are entitled to receive a per diem or a stipend, plus reimbursement of any reasonable expenses they have. Not only this cooperative does this, but every cooperative in the state, all utility cooperatives, both electric and telephone, and have been doing it under the law for a long time. So yes. Angela asked this question online. When will Tri-County begin to have in-person meetings again, like before, an in-person annual meeting, I assume? Every year, the board evaluates the method for conducting the annual membership meeting. In order to reach the most members, our board has concluded that the virtual platform is the most effective at this time. They will continue to reevaluate this each year to see if in-person makes sense for future years. You remember our quorum was over 20%. That's extremely high quorum, better than we've had with actual in-person meetings. So that decision, I know it's different, but it actually has caused the participation to increase. Thank you. We have a question from Bobby online. What is the result of the Brazos Electric lawsuit? We have previously provided all the details regarding the outcome of the Brazos bankruptcy, but we'll be happy to provide all of the details to you following this meeting. Brazos bankruptcy was concluded. It's over with. Brazos changed from a generation cooperative to just a transmission cooperative. And so that suit has been finished and completed. We have a question from Jim online. Please comment on the replacement of the CEO since that position is unfilled. Who is in charge? Well, the board has appointed 3 interim CEOs: Janet Rehberg is Chief Strategy Officer, Melissa Watts, Chief Financial Officer, and Wes Sheets, Chief Operations Officer. The board is now evaluating the process for a search and a replacement of a CEO. We have a question from Joan online. Please repeat the email to find out who won the door prizes. Answer: the full list of winners will be available tomorrow on our website. Each winning member will be contacted by our member service team. So you'll be contacted if you won. You can go online and see, but every winner will be contacted to make sure we can deliver the door prize. I have a question from Lisa online. Are you changing your solar program? We just received our cost of service study, and the board will review it, including your feedback on the solar program and the town hall meetings. We will notify all members in January if there is a change. This is an ongoing issue. Solar continues to change as we go by, and the board is evaluating that, but the staff is evaluating based on a cost of service study, which provides us great detail about how to establish such a program. Thank you. Angela sent this question in online. I would like to have information about the solar installers also. Our team will reach out to you, Angela. They'll contact you personally. Thank you for the question. Again, this is the same issue that all electric utilities and all cooperatives across the state are struggling with. You know, solar is becoming popular with a lot of people. Like any new program, it's hard to develop a program that works, and so this co-op wants to make sure it has one that benefits the members and works out properly financially. Thank you. I have a question here from Harold online. Thank you for your question. Who determines the salary for the new CEO? Good question. The board has one employee, the CEO. Under the structure, the board hires the CEO, and then the CEO then follows up in charge of the staff. The board has that one employee, the CEO, so it's the board has responsibility for evaluating the CEO annually and determining the compensation. They use national compensation surveys and evaluation forms from outside consultants. These consultants, they keep track of all especially the electric cooperative surveys, electric cooperative CEOs nationwide, and provide the board their feedback on that so the board can determine the compensation. Waiting for any other further questions. Please again, submit your questions online. Type your name in the box below the streaming player. If you're by phone, please press *3 to be connected to a member service representative.
I can see they didn't answer my question.
We have a question from Robert online. When will offices be open for the membership to speak with employees in person? Our offices are open. Please visit our website, ecectexas.com/contact-us for a full list of the hours that each office is open. Thank you. Good question. And if you have a question, please submit it again. Type it in the box below the streaming player, your name and your question. I'm getting tongue-tied tonight. If you are participating by phone, please press *3 to be connected to a member service representative. Lots of good questions tonight. William called in on the phone. How is the CEO search coming? The board has hired a national search firm, Carter Baldwin, and they are making progress. The board takes this very seriously and plans to take the appropriate amount of time to properly vet candidates and select the best CEO. At the present time, of course, we mentioned that Janet Rehberg, Melissa Watts, and Wes Sheets, the three of those together are serving as the interim CEOs, and you have the top three staff employees of the cooperative. They seem to be addressing the business very well, and they will be able to handle it without any problems in the meantime. But the board is doing a complete nationwide search to bring in candidates for that process, and I'm sure notice will be going out to the proper places to ask for a candidate application soon for CEO. Have any other questions? I think I see our staff writing a few down now that they're receiving in, so we have a couple more questions, it seems. Again, keep in mind, any questions that are not answered tonight, the cooperative staff will get back with you by the end of the week. Also, the door prizes. People are always interested in those. A full list is on our website. But however, the staff will be contacting every winner to make sure there's a way to deliver your door prize to you so that you can pick it up. A lot of good questions tonight. We appreciate all the members going online, participating. Again, we had a record number of participants in the meeting this way. That's hard to get around the fact that we have more people participate when we do it online than we do live in person. We all like in-person meetings and seeing people face to face, but actually our participation of co-op members has climbed dramatically by having it virtual, so the board will evaluate that. We have another question from Sherry, who called in on the phone. If the Brazos bankruptcy is over, why are we paying so much for it? All right. Part of the Brazos exit plan included the collecting of amounts from member co-ops, including Tri-County. Tri-County didn't have money to pay off 100% of its share of the debt, but did have to pay something. All co-ops that participated in Brazos, and there's 16 member co-ops in Brazos, they had to go through that legal process of the bankruptcy, and the bankruptcy judge came up with this order, and that required every member co-op to have to share part of that debt. Brazos sold all its generation assets. All its millions of dollars of generating assets were sold to help cover that debt as much as they could, and the remainder of debt was picked up by the 16 co-op members. Tri-County had its share. That is, they're placing that on a billing statements monthly to help pay off that share of the debt. The co-op sought every possible avenue to reduce that debt as much as they can, and have been successful in many ways. They went both to legislature and to Congress and to a lot of our elected representatives, and this was the final conclusion we came to, and it's an added on to the bill. And you'll see it on your printed bill, but every co-op in Brazos was required to do the same thing as a result of the order that came out of the bankruptcy judge's court. Good question, though. I think we have a couple more questions coming in. Appreciate your questions. Appreciate your participation. I know we're conflicting with people watching the Dallas Cowboys play football tonight. I don't know whether that's good or bad. I guess it depends on how they're doing. We'll find out. I'll find out after the meeting concludes. I appreciate you taking your time. This is an important issue of the cooperative, and the membership is providing a lot of input to the staff that we can take into review when we start developing policy going forward. Question by Roy online. Why does it take so long to get someone on the line when you call in? Understand that question. Roy, thank you for bringing this up to our attention. We will have someone reach out to you to gather more information to improve our service. Hopefully that should be better, and there may be some issue there with, I don't know what it is, but we'll find out what it is, and someone will get back with you. Is the co-op being sued by the last CEO? Well, that's public information. I can't really get into the details because it's a legal matter. Yes, there's a lawsuit been filed in Parker County by the present CEO, but I'm not at liberty to talk about that. Again, you'll stay up because it involves an ongoing litigation matter. We will. That was a good question by Harold online, but more information will probably be available publicly as the lawsuit proceeds. This is our staff writing, so we have a few more questions coming in. And I hate to be repetitive, but if you have a question, please state your name and question into the box below the streaming player. If you're on a phone, please press *3. You'll be connected to a member service representative so you can ask your question. Again, it's to the door prizes. Make sure nobody misses their door prize. That you got, because we had over 200, we couldn't cover but a few of them, but have over 200 that were provided for all our vendors and the people who we work with, who provide us lines and poles and transformers and all our office supplies. Any type of service that we receive from outside vendors. They've all donated door prizes. The only thing the co-op provided the bill credit for your voting, and it provided the grand prize on electric service. Other than that, all these door prizes were provided by our friends who do business with us, and we purchase all sorts of things that are required, necessary for running this size of a cooperative with over 100,000 meters. We appreciate the things that our sponsors have done, our vendors who sponsored these door prizes. Okay, we have Nikki ask a question, a comment online. Thank you for offering the online option. Thank you for the positive feedback for being a valued member of the cooperative. We like the online option. We think that's, again, it's greatly increased the participation. I have a question from Jeremy submitted online. Has the board of directors developed a better process for addressing the board that includes not going through the CEO? Currently, members can fill out a form to request a meeting of the board. The board is currently evaluating this process to determine the options. Let me say this as the attorney for the cooperative. I started this meeting saying that this is a private company, and it is. Sometimes people think a cooperative is a governmental body or a political body like school board, city council. It's not. In that respect, this Tri-County Electric Cooperative is no different than Encore and AEP. The cooperative takes great pride in being open and transparent to its members as best it can. The electric business is a very competitive business. You won't find any other utilities other than cooperatives that open up their board meetings and open up some of their information they have as much as cooperatives do. In fact, the legislature, the electric business is so competitive and requires a certain amount of confidentiality in the information taking place, especially the purchase of wholesale power. You'll find out more information with this cooperative about how it operates than most the bigger electric utilities will give their customers. Because you're members and you're owners, we try to provide more detail to you. But the Texas legislature has even exempted out cities, so there's a number of cities who own their electric companies. And the cities, of course, are open, subject to the Open Meetings Act and Open Records Act. This cooperative is a private company, is not. The cities that are, the legislature exempted them out from having to have all their utility meetings openly so that they could protect the competitive interests of the cooperative. Those companies that are located within the ERCOT area, which Tri-County is, a very heavily competitive environment. We have some cases overlapping districts in which we have a number of the larger utilities that compete directly with Tri-County Electric. So that competitive issue causes a number of problems. They're good problems to have. That means that the cooperatives can be competing well across its service area. It causes a number of problems, not only in the purchase of electric power, but also in getting things like such simple things as getting quality employees. This cooperative has a number of high-quality employees. If you've looked at our top 3 CEOs, for instance, there's a number of quality employees at the top. We have a number of utilities around the state that would come and if they knew the individual private stuff that might be available for the governmental body should not be available in these cases. Of course, I've been asked questions about why can't I see somebody else's electric bill? But we're not going to let that happen because you're a customer, you have privacy rights. We protect the confidentiality of your billing and anything that might disclose that. So there's a number of things in a utility that cannot be disclosed. We won't disclose those, but we try to be as transparent as we can to our members so that you know what's going on. Thank you.
Yeah, Pernalis.
We have a number of members that have asked this question. If I vote in the runoff election, will I get another bill credit? Great question. Yes. Members who vote in the runoff election will receive another bill credit. More information about this will be found in the upcoming November edition of Texas Co-op Power. But again, Mr. Walden and Mr. Miller will be in a runoff election. The board will officially set that election. It should be noticed to you in your next 2 co-op powers, the November one specifically, giving you the details. Voting will take place approximately the first 2 weeks of December. So be sure and vote and get your bill credit for that. Plus, you need to participate in this election process. After that, it's tabulated because of the holiday period that comes up during that time frame. It will probably be after the first of the year before those election results will be known and announced. Survey Ballot Systems is our independent election provider. They're hired independently of the co-op. They keep confidential information on it and results, and will give us that process as it comes in. We'll give you more details on that in the upcoming, be sure to look at your upcoming issues of Texas Co-op Power. We have a question here that's been asked by Bobby online. How long does the Brazos financing rider last? Great question. The debt related to the Brazos financing is being amortized over 25 years, a long time. However, EDC has already evaluated and made extra principal payments this year, so we hope to have this paid off much faster than the 25 years. Because Tri-County is in a growing area and has been doing well, and we think it's operated well. They're taking any extra money they have. Again, we try to still pay members' capital credits. We take extra money we have and try to pay off that principal early so it can be completed and paid for earlier. Every co-op in Brazos has got this exact same issue. Many of them go out further than 25 years, depending on the cooperative and the nature of it. So Tri-County has been a struggle for all of us to have to deal with. It was a problem that was not caused by any of us, but yet we end up having to pay for it to make sure that you continue to have good electricity, both generated power and distributed power. The cooperative distributes the power. It buys the power from someone else. It buys generating power from someone who generates it. Previously, that was Brazos. Because Brazos had to sell out of its generating business in the bankruptcy, Tri-County had to go out and find another power supplier, and it has done that. It's buying power from a third-party supplier. That is the large majority of your bill. Kind of depending on the price of fuel, oil and gas, that can amount to 60, 70, 75%, depending on the time of the year. So the co-op operates the rest of its business on the remaining revenues they have that come from member services. The power co-op bill is by far the largest individual item. So the co-op is now purchasing that from an independent third-party generator. Looks like a couple more questions. Sue, on CJ, I guess, online. Thank you for sharing co-op information with members. No response is needed. Well, we appreciate and value your membership. Thank you for your comments. Sandy sent in this question online. Where can information be found regarding outages? We receive text, but no information. Most of the cooperatives around the state have surveyed, and text seems to be the best way to respond to people quickly when we have an outage. There is an outage map on the Tri-County website that you can see how many outages are occurring in a particular area. If you have an outage, number one, we hope you'll report it. And number two, we'll try to get with you and text you and let you know. But you can also, on the third, you can go online, see where the outages are taking place and the status of them. Good question. Good service question. Thank you. Lots of questions. Angela online. Does the co-op perform periodic audits to check for employee embezzlement or fraud, or do you only do annual audits? All right, good question. The co-op has a very good internal controls that are tested periodically throughout the year. They have a number of internal matters that they consult with outside consultants, auditing firms. They have their own internal controls that work well. The co-op is also constantly reevaluating current interval controls and procedures to make sure member assets are being well protected. And in addition, of course, the co-op has an outside third-party independent audit. Independent firm come in and audit it. If they find anything, they check up on it, and that becomes part of your annual audit. You heard tonight that we had a very clean audit, though, and we're following all our internal controls well. Okay. See, we're having another question on the lawsuit. Stephen asked this question. How did we pass the audit when the previous CEO, well, I don't want to get into the details of the lawsuit, but how do we pass the present audit? The auditing firm that comes in is independent. The cooperative submitted all the required information to them related to that matter, and the auditing firm came through and gave the cooperative a clean audit. We'll leave it at the auditing firm gave the cooperative a clean audit, being aware of the current situation with regard to our lawsuit. I can't go into the details of the lawsuit because it involves pending litigation, but thank you for the question. See, more questions coming in. This is wonderful participation by each of you for your cooperative. It's good to see this type of response from the cooperative membership. And again, I know we all like to be live and in person, but so far we've gotten more participation and more attendance virtually than we ever have, and we're one of the leading cooperatives in the state now in terms of participation by its members. So that aspect of the virtual meeting is, at least has dividends in that respect. Thank you. This one is called in by William on the phone. Why is the process so cumbersome to become a nominee for the board? We hope it's not cumbersome. We hope we've eliminated it. There's two ways that we can do. We revamped the whole process in 2020 to try to simplify it. But again, this cooperative has probably one of the most democratic processes. Again, we're not a political body. We're a private company, and we conduct our own elections for board members as any corporation does. Tri-County Electric Cooperative, Inc., if you notice the Inc. on the end, we are a corporation. We are a cooperative corporation. There is Chapter C corporations, there's Subchapter S corporations, there's all sorts of different corporations. This is a cooperative corporation, but we're still a corporation, and we're still a private company. Where other big utilities like, and I hate to hesitate to use names, but AEP or Encore that most of you are familiar with, they have shareholders, and they have an annual meeting, a shareholders meeting, and those shareholders go and vote on their directors. I don't know their process for running for the board. We openly tell you our process. It's in our bylaws. We publish it ahead of time. We provide two ways to do that. Number one, you can submit your application, and you're given notice of that, and I believe Texas Co-op Power, their bylaws, we give you notice of that process, when the nominating committee will meet, what the deadline is for submitting application. You submit your application, and the nominating committee will interview you to make sure you meet all the qualifications. Secondly, if you haven't been nominated or don't want to go through the nomination process with the committee, you yourself can get the application for a petition, go out and get the required number of signatures. You also, if you otherwise are qualified, you meet all the other qualifications of living in your service area, being a member in good standing. That means you had to pay your electric bill. And all those, there's the various qualifications that are listed in our bylaws. And if you do that, well then, they are, those who are eligible and interested have all available information when the cycle opens. Our governance team is available to answer any questions. Next year, we will take nominations for District 3, 6, and 8. Districts 3, 6, and 8, well, those three districts will be up for election next year. If you're interested, again, there's two ways. You can go before the nominating committee, or you can get a petition circulated to get the required number of signatures. And then you, again, as long as you meet the basic qualifications, all candidates have to meet the basic qualifications of living in the service area, living there for the required period of time, taking service, and being a member in good standing. There's several other. You can't work for a competing. If you work for another electric company like Encore or AEP, you can be a member of the cooperative, you can vote. You probably can't run for the board, depending on your circumstances. Two questions, okay. All right. There are two questions by Teresa and Angela. Both of them are very similar. Why has our bill gone up 40% in the last year when our use has not increased? And again, the second one is, when will our rates go down? Despite Tri-County's new power supply contract that lowered members' rates, our power supply lowered members' rates. Overall, the cost of power is still higher across the board than it has been in many years. A lot of this is due to fuel costs. price of, what you pay for gasoline at the fuel pump, the same thing happens to natural gas, which is used in large part to generate power. That price has gone up and stays up, and that's where part of the power cost has increased. The same byproduct that used to produce gasoline is also comes from gas wells, natural gas wells out of the ground, and so it's all gone up. That's where the largest part of the increase has been. We've actually buying power though that lowers rates, but your staff and board is committed to finding ways to continue to lower your cost. And also, you have to mention that this summer, with the heat we've had, that's caused a lot of power bills to go up. Just as a natural, we've had unprecedented heat this summer. I don't have to tell any of you that, and that's caused a lot of the power bills to go up. John online asked, why doesn't Tri-County offer a discount price to members with all the door prizes? Well, again, as I stated, we got over 200 door prizes. All of them were given by our vendors, those who we buy lines and poles and equipment and trucks and all the things, all the supplies that we have to buy to run this cooperative. We buy those from our vendors and suppliers. They are the ones that donated the door prizes for you. They donated them. Now, what the cooperative provided was a bill credit, getting people to vote, encouraging people to vote. And again, Tri-County has one of the highest rates in the state for participation among members. So that process has worked. It's important to we have those specific turnout. I'm trying to think of my word here. Turnout to get a quorum every year, and it's working here.
Pronounced as actually the highest. Not true.
The cooperatives provide, like I said, the bill credits and also the grand prize, which is pretty traditional to offer various prizes and door prizes for members. We don't provide many of the door prizes, though. Those are provided by our vendors. Door prizes for annual meetings are donated to the cooperative by our vendors, business partners, and they're done on a voluntary basis. And we thank them for donating and helping. It always helps our turnout to have a few door prizes. Mike online has asked this question. When will specific dates be announced for the runoff period? The official notice with details will come in the November Texas Co-op Power. You'll get the November Co-op Power probably close to the end of this month, 1st of November, and it'll give you all the details. The runoff election will probably, by the time we set the dates, probably be the first couple of weeks of December. It'll come out in your November Co-op Power. You should have almost a month's notice prior to the start of voting. All the details for that runoff election will be there. Do we have any more questions? No more questions. If you have questions, don't hesitate. Still send them in, and we'll try to get back with you. If you send one in that didn't get answered, our staff will get back with you. And again, we'll get with you with the door prizes. Thank you for joining us tonight. We thank you for your membership in the cooperative. Good night, and God bless.